Me this question in a message, so I'm just going to answer it for everybody because a lot of people ask this. So, first of all, did I have any like new layers of thinking around gate like in the years afterwards? And so I'm not exactly sure what they meant by this, but they also mentioned self-sabotage. So there's a couple of things that get asked around this. And so first of all, a lot of people have their psychic skills like removed after the gate program. And I don't know exactly why this is. I'm assuming that they think that you're a threat. They also were just doing experiments to see what they could do. So you may have just been collateral damage to them. You just lost your gifts and they're like, oh, yep, we can do that. Cool. On with our day. But then there was another group, of course, where they were seeing if they could enhance their gifts. And they did that to me with the astral projection. And I will say that I didn't know that I had any psychic gifts or anything while I was in the GATE program, like no idea. I did realize that now looking back, I had a lot scarier dreams starting in first grade. And I had a period where I didn't want to go to school. Like I made my mom stay home from work for it was probably just a day, but I thought she was gonna die if she left my sight. I was terrified, and I also really had trouble going to bed. I was very scared that I was going to wet the bed, even though I don't think I ever wet the bed, but that was what was scary to me, or bad, or my excuse that I gave to the adults. I did have pretty severe self-sabotage after leaving the GATE program. It seems like maybe 6th through 8th grade it was a kind of different program. It wasn't the same GATE stuff that we were doing in 1st through 5th grade. And my self-sabotage got pretty bad starting in 8th grade, I want to say, and that was that was when I was done with GATE. That was my last year of GATE, and I haven't really. I didn't correlate anything at that time. Again, I don't think I stopped astral projecting at that time. I'm pretty sure it's continued all throughout the years. I think that they have been using me in the astral realm for a long time. It's not like they stopped using me once I was done with GATE, but they didn't use me in the 3D world like they did other people. They didn't use me to be a thought leader. I know that that's, or a researcher or an influencer. A lot of times they'll promote people who are in universities or whatever as thought leaders, and doctors. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Or put them to be doctors, or leaders in big businesses. A lot of times you'll see people who were in the GATE program. That's what it was supposed to be for, to push people to be titans of industry. And so I was not used in that sense, but I have continued to be used in the astral realm, and I think that a lot of people also were had that done, and then were also given self-sabotage. Now, as far as the other psychic gifts, I don't know how exactly they've been using you all along. Perhaps they have been in some other way. Perhaps they can still pull you into the astral realm and use your gifts in some other way there. And what experiences have I had astrally? So I don't even know how to condense that, because so first of all, sometimes I have a hard time telling what has been astral and what has been real. And then there's also just your everyday dreams that are going on, and sometimes it's kind of hard to tell what is astral versus a dream. And then also there's another layer where they sometimes have an amnesic wall there, and it's hard to say if they enhance that from astral projection, or we just don't always remember all of our dreams. And essentially when you wake up, you would think that an astral projection is a dream. And I believe that there are 3 or 4 other kids that were in the GATE program that are sent to check up on me in my dreams. I don't have any real evidence that that's what they're doing, but that's what I think that they're doing, because so there is one of them that I was pretty good friends with from, honestly, kindergarten on, preschool, maybe even on throughout high school, and he is in my dreams pretty frequently. And I know that he went into the military, so it seems like he might be there, or the Navy. I think he was in the Navy. And so I think that they probably used him in some also remote viewing stuff. And then there's two other guys that are often in my dreams that were military and gate, and I also believe that they are sent to check up on me pretty frequently. But there's one that's like a little bit different. There are, yeah. So that was something that person asked in the question, like something that they think that they meet other gate kids in their dreams, and I'm sure that you do. It's just hard to know. Like I also wonder if these people that I'm seeing in my dreams, if they're seeing me in their dreams, and how much they're aware of, or like how much the conversations are real, and like a two-part conversation. I don't have relationships with any of these people that like I speak to them or would be comfortable asking them. Whereas like there's a lot of other people that are not gate, people that like I would just be like, hey, you were in my dream last night, like did you also have this dream? But I don't have that type of like connection with any of those people. I'm trying to think of what else that person said, or asked. But yeah, so what type of experiences have I had astrally? So I do know that I have been sent on like missions. I don't know if it was like to map things or to like it. I think that I've been supposed to like deliver things to people. I also know that I have been part of like an abduction program, and I don't know if that was an astral abduction or a physical abduction, but I do have several dreams and memories that have been given to me about like related to birthing babies that are not mine, or like having babies that are not mine, or I have a dream of or like a memory of being like a spouse to a fallen angel. There's a lot of things that also like, so there's another layer to it going on, because like I can like see into the spirit realm, and so like when I go to like pray, or I'll sit there and just like focus and like talk to God or talk to like my human spirit, and then I'll get shown things that are like visions. So it's like actually a two-way conversation. Like a lot of people will pray to God and they won't get anything, and so that's a big part of why I am like actually a Christian, because I actually get things back when I talk. And so like I'll get these like visions, or like this whole like movie will play out in front of me, or I'll just get like just like a drop of information, and then like all of a sudden like a flood of like knowing of like it's like like I just know everything about something with like just one like bloop. So there's a lot of that going on, and so that's where I've gotten some of these things from. It's not like I've always woken up and been like, wow, that's a weird dream. It's like some of these things come later, and I know that some of those were astral memories. However, I do also know that some of the memories that I get are from like pre-Adamic ages, or like my ancestors. So sometimes it's hard to know, like, okay, was this something that happened to me in the astral realm or a different dimension, or was this something that happened to an ancestor, or was this something that happened to my human spirit in a different age? There's a lot of weird time loop stuff that happens, and I do believe that some of us were used for time travel things. And I think there's a pretty good evidence of work to show that as well. Like that's not just some me thinking that. There are like time travel programs. I think it's Project Looking Glass, if I remember right, and like they were doing experiments to see if they could control the end of the world, because these people, they're very interested in end times theology, and I need to do like a whole series on that. But ultimately, like they believe in the end of the world, and they hope to overthrow God, and so they have done these experiments to see if they like what they do differently leading up to the end times, if there's anything that they can do. And there is a certain point where they've gotten to, and nothing changes after that point. And so I am curious if we've hit that, because I do think that we're in the end times. There's a lot of weird astrological stuff that's been happening that makes me think that we've entered a new age. And I think a lot of people might say that too. So lots of interesting things, lots of trippy thoughts, and there's a lot that we're not like that. Like it's like, okay, well, this could mean this or this or this or this, but we don't know exactly what it means, and we may not know, for a while. As I get more clear answers, I will, hopefully share some of these things with you, as I like, if I know that it's like for sure an astral memory, versus like an ancestor memory or like something else. I guess I also have a memory of being trapped in inner earth and being like I don't know exactly what I can say on Instagram, but a worker for reptilian beings. If you are picking up what I'm putting down, like I was just in a room and kind of like trapped in a, yeah, not like a cell, but like a low grade SEX worker, and like just trapped in a cell, and then like these reptilian beings would come in and out throughout the day. That's a pretty vivid astral memory, and you know, they would just do what they want with me, and so that was that's a very messed up memory that I received. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh, I don't know if, so I think that this is an ancestor memory and not an astral memory, but one of my, I have a, so, and just to show you like kind of how it gets like convoluted and it seems kind of like it's the same thing, I have a memory of like being hugged like by a fallen angel. Like the memory is like it's me, like I'm looking out my own eyes, and that's important in memories or visions that you get. Try to pay attention to that if like you are yourself or you're watching from a different area. And like I'm like doing the dishes, or like I'm like at a kitchen. It's not a fully modern kitchen or anything, but I'm being hugged from behind by like a Pleiadian, like a fallen angel, and I don't know exactly which one it was, but like, and then I was pregnant in the vision, so I don't know where or when that was, but that is one of the things that I think may have happened astrally or just in another dimension or timeline. So yeah, that's some of the weird things that like you can get into with all the astral experiences. So I hope that answered your question to the person that asked that, and I hope you found that interesting.